Today's 8-megapixel cameras are getting pretty much to film quality. However, you have to remember that a film camera takes infinite resolution. The better the lens, the more information is being packed onto that film. So if we look at a regular 35mm camera or one with a great optical lens, you're going to get a better picture. An 8-megapixel camera with a good lens is approaching the average 35mm camera.
Dave Chalk Connected is brought to you by TELUS. The future is friendly.
A film camera still good for anything? Oh, no. Yeah, we're looking for the Sony.
Did you put it? Oh, you put it away. Oh, it does a hybrid record mode.
Got it.
They're very curious about the camera, so we're going to try to keep the camera out of the way, and then when we bring the camera out, they'll come down here and check it out.
What a wonderful place to visit and take pictures, the aquarium. You know, so often we forget to bring our cameras along. Ever since I got my digital camera, it really changed me. I take so many more pictures now. If you're still considering getting a digital camera and haven't quite jumped over that divide, there's a whole new reason to buy one, a whole new concept in hybrid digital cameras from Sony. It's called the DSC M1, and it is a hybrid multimedia camera. This is it right here, a sleek, low-profile, 5.1 megapixel camera that really does do something different. It captures video along with the still image. Using MPEG-4 encoding, Sony calls the MPEG Movie for TV, even being one of the first to record in stereo audio. It allows you to capture high-quality video and a digital image at the same time. The way you're going to understand this best is if I show it to you. Take a look here. In the aquarium just a minute ago, I captured this. The still image and the continuation of the video. You get about 5 seconds of video in front, the image is captured, and then 3 seconds of video trailing. That image that is captured is a 5.1 megapixel image, which is great for printout in 8.5 by 11. Now, the thing I really like about this is many times when I look back at old photographs and I'm looking at one thinking, I wonder what really happened just before and after this picture was taken. Well, that mystery is finally solved with this camera. The file sizes are so small, they're great for emailing, and they can even be played back on the TV. The lens in the camera is great, too. It's a Vario Tessar, one of the better ones by Carl Zeiss, with a 3 times optical zoom. As you can see, too, there's an actuating screen. Turns a full 270 degrees, and perfect even for playback by flipping it around to the back side. It has a 1 gigabyte memory card in it right now, and if it was just video alone, that's going to be 54 minutes of video to be captured. As you can see, in wonderful places like this, it's so much nicer to capture more than just the still. Knowing you've got a 5.1 megapixel image is great, but knowing what happened just before and just after is a whole new way to capture memories. For someone first getting a digital camera, the best thing you can do is take lots of pictures. Take hundreds. Click it, press the button, turn the knob, change the dial, up close, go super close and take a picture. Try the automatic settings, try the preset settings, and then try the manual settings. Experiment, because those pictures don't cost you anything. And in fact, when you first get something new, you've got the energy and the excitement about trying it. That's the best time to do it. Get all of the complex things out of the way, find the things you like best, and then run with those. But you've got a window of about a week where you'll really be passionate about trying it. Try everything.
Not just a tone with me, but we have to make sure that we don't, Dave and myself, come off as holier than thou kind of thing. We want to be seen as down to earth, and I just thought that we went a little far in that direction.
I wish I could go to the aquarium and sing with the whales. I got to sit back and answer 300 phone calls and try to get through 5 million emails. Well, after the day I had, yeah, I wish I'd gone. I was at the creative meeting when we were discussing the aquarium. I just think of big trout and things didn't seem as exciting at the time.
We're doing all right. We're a little behind, but nothing unusual. We'll make it up for sure. it's been a good day, so it'll be good today.
You're lying.
I know.
Okay, here we go. I'll come around this way.
Show 10, 2-6, take 2, marker.
Well, with notebook computers nowadays, I'll have to say that I've become a pretty mobile guy. But one challenge I run into with my notebook computer is that I can't plug everything into it at the same time. You see, I've only got one USB port, and typically all these devices like digital cameras, mice, USB keys, they plug into that one port. So if I want to hook up more than one at a time, I'm out of luck. Even on this Mac computer, there's only 2 USB ports. I've come up with a solution from Targus. It's called the Slim 4-port USB hub. And this, plugged into your USB port on the back of your notebook computer, gives you 4 additional ports that you can plug in everything from your USB key, digital camera, camcorder, anything that has that USB connection right into the side of this. It's also 1.1 and 2.0 compliant, so you get the high-speed USB connection if you've got those types of devices. So now when you're on the road, if you want to hook in those extra devices, you can see that this is a pretty slim little device, fits in your notebook carry case, doesn't add any weight.
And cut.
Speaking of plugging stuff in, I want to show you one of my pet peeves. It's to do with power bars. You've got a 6-outlet power bar, but then when you plug stuff in, like these big block adapters here, you can only fit 2 in at a time. They're pretty well eating up everything else. Well, look at this. This is a power strip liberator. And I wish I would have thought of this. Just a cheap little cable here. They go for about $5 to $10. And watch this here. You plug it into the outlet. And now when you want to plug one of these bulky adapters, you plug it into this, and you still got all the other outlets. And they've actually got a couple other models, too. They've got a pass-through one here, so this is cool. You can actually, let's see if I plug this in the right way. Gives you 2 outlets in one, or you even have a Y adapter, too. Inexpensive way to actually get the most out of your power bar.
You know, a recent study showed that many people who had just purchased a digital camera were actually quite frustrated with it after they got it. Upon investigation, they found out it was typically because they hadn't purchased all the accessories they need to get the best experience from the camera. Let me show a few things that will really help you get the best from your camera. One of the first things to do is understand the batteries. See, the cameras require batteries to illuminate the LCD screen, run the processor inside, zoom the camera, and power up the flash. Don't use alkaline batteries. If your camera takes AA's, a regular alkaline will drain too quickly, especially on use with the LCD screen. Get the nickel metal hydride rechargeable, and you'll get a lot of power and be able to take a lot of shots. If your camera happens to use a lithium ion, I recommend you also get a spare one. They are rechargeable, and they'll cost about $50 or more, but you don't want to be in a spot when you run out of power. A couple other nice things. All of these cameras use memory in replacement of film, many different kinds from many different manufacturers. Today, a 256 megabyte module can cost $40 or less. Picture-wise, that'll hold up to nearly 105 megapixels or over 200 3-megapixel pictures. You don't want to fill the card up when you're out on the road, so get a spare 1 or 2 of these. Other accessories that are pretty handy is a memory card reader. This is a USB adapter, plugs into your computer, and will immediately read all the popular types of memory, allowing you to keep the camera going while the memory card is transferring over to the computer. And depending on the make or model of your camera, some manufacturers sell underwater packs that allow you to completely submerge the camera. Only certain models allow for this, so you might want to check online with your manufacturer, but in a place like this, you can get some great underwater shots. And then to protect your investment, you certainly want to look at a good carry case. There's many different models on the market. This one is specifically geared for the SLR type with the longer lenses like this Sony one. There's room for the extra batteries, the extra memory modules, as well as all the other accessories you want to take with you. Remember, with a digital camera, you've got the option to take so many pictures. Have the accessories with you so you can also get the job done. I've never seen leadership like this before. It's absolutely.
All right, we're supposed to be rolling here. What's going on, Mark?
The camera's not reacting well to all this humidity, so
Right.
I don't think we're gonna be able to use this one. We're gonna have to shoot it on a small camera.
So it's like inoperable.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. So,
DV cam. Okay.
yeah, we'll try a small camera, and hopefully this one will worked well for us.
You know, just walking through the aquarium, it makes me realize I don't get out here often enough. There are some wonderful scenes and memories to be captured. Obviously, one of the reasons I want to take my digital camera with me, there's something about digital cameras and the immediacy of the image. That memory is captured, and you know you've got the exact shot that you wanted to capture. Interesting, many people don't realize the processor or the computer inside of a digital camera is nearly as powerful as some of the early desktop computers, capturing millions of calculations per second. While we know the digital camera is easy to use, there is much more that can be done with it to take advantage of it. Most of today's digital cameras have all the features I'm going to talk about. One of the first is the mode. While we set our camera on automatic and look around and take the picture, we can adjust it and put it in what is called an action or sports or outdoor or weather mode. Simply look at the menu on the back or refer to your owner's manual and you'll see that if you are in an indoor environment, a water scene, a snow condition, or a sports environment, the camera will automatically adjust some of the settings to get you that perfect picture. What these automatic presets are really doing is configuring the camera for aperture and exposure. The nice thing about the camera is if you practice with them, you can control these yourself to do some very creative shots. Now, the exposure is about how long the lens stays open for. If the lens stays open for an extended amount of time, it's a great way to get an interesting blur on something as it goes by. Or if you're in a low light condition, it's a way to let extra light into the camera to make sure you get a good shot. Now, if you make the exposure time very short, it means very little light comes in, but it's great for getting the action shot, possibly a bird flying through here or something that's moving very quickly on the ground. Now, the other interesting control is the aperture, usually indicated by an A on the top of the camera. By dialing this down and having a smaller aperture setting, you will see that the actual iris, which is the amount it opens up when the picture is taken, is smaller. Interestingly enough, when you use a small setting here, it actually allows you to get a very good depth of field, meaning things far off in the distant are clear. When you make that larger, it blurs out the background. And as you can see very quickly, some of the shots you have seen in magazines that have that blurry background but an in-focus up front are done by making the aperture setting larger. Now, those are two of the controls. A couple of other ones you need to know about on a digital camera that really make a big difference is white balance. You know, when you're outside under natural sunlight or in a room like this with artificial light, white looks very different. By setting the automatic white balance on the camera, it allows the camera to do a calculation to see what white is in the conditions you're in. When you take the picture and view it, you'll see that the white and therefore all the other colors matched exactly what you saw. A very important thing, but often overlooked. The next thing is how much information you're going to collect about that picture, and that we refer to picture quality. Your camera will typically be set up in a good, better, best mode. Two things are happening here. In the lower mode, we're getting less information and we're compressing it more. These are great for pictures you might use on the web or just for a quick calculation or a quick injection into a document you're putting online. If you're looking for the best, as in good, better, best, you're collecting a lot more data and you're using less compression, which also means there's going to be a lot more information packed onto your memory card quicker, meaning you're not going to be able to take as many pictures. Typically, the camera will do a calculation and show you how many pictures. But there's nothing wrong with varying between shot to shot. This one, going to be used for email. Lower it down. This one, very important picture, I'm going to print in an 8.5 by 11. You want to make sure you're getting in your best. You need a 3 to 5 megapixel resolution, as low compression as you can get to print that out as best you possibly can. And one other interesting setting that is often overlooked is the macro mode, usually indicated by a little flower on your camera. What this means, if you want to get a really close-up shot, allows you to go very tight on something. It actually adjusts the depth of field of the viewfinder, meaning you can only focus in a short distance like this. But the end result is absolutely amazing. You'll get one of the best shots close-up you could imagine by putting your camera into macro mode. Now I'm going to take a little bit more of a walk through the aquarium, and I've got some great tips for you coming up on how to best get the pictures you want from your digital camera. Hey guys, listen, can you take this? I want to get this on there.
How'd that go today?
It went excellent. If you get that docking station on here, this is amazing footage. I think we've got one real problem coming up in the future with digital cameras. With a film camera, you take the 24, 36 pictures, take them in, be developed, look at them and go, wah, and throw them in a drawer. Today, we're taking the pictures, but we're not printing them. If we don't start printing our digital pictures, we're going to have a big void. Because if we lose the information on that computer, those memories are gone forever. Print your pictures.
Where do you want us to start, Mark?
Well, Mike's going to be seated.
Yeah.
Dave's going to walk in and join him. So,
from here?
yeah, that's fine.
It'll do HTML email for you rather than a bunch of attachments, so you can send like a little mini photo album to someone, which is pretty handy.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, guys, what's your
Yes,
ETA?
Dave.
All right.
Television is a serious business.
Mark, you good? Let's get going.
Quiet on the set, please. Let's get some speed.
And mark it.
Show 10, segment 4-7, take 2, marker.
And
Frame.
And well, they often say that TV puts on a few pounds. This is a perfect example of when you need to do some digital picture editing. You know, nowadays, billions of pictures are being taken digitally. They're being put on computers, and not much is being done with them. One of the challenges we have is finding integrated software that works well. We're going to take a look now at a software program called Adobe Photoshop Elements, about $140, but it is an all-in-one package. It allows you to edit, modify, store, organize, and distribute your pictures with such simplicity that you'll actually do it. Now, we all know there are a lot of photo editing programs in the marketplace, but this one is different. You see, Photoshop Elements is based on Adobe's award-winning program, Photoshop. It retails for more than $1,000 and is the industry standard for more than a decade. Pick up any magazine, and that's probably what those pictures were edited through. In Photoshop Elements, they're giving you most of the features that anyone would ever want to use on their desktop computer. Anything from cutting off a few pounds off a guy like that, to taking out some wrinkles, changing a background color, or even changing a picture to black and white and sepia. Things you can do just before you print that will really enhance the image.
Well, to start working with them, you've got to be able to find them, and
Yes.
that's one of the key things. I got thousands of photos on my hard drive, and this has got a built-in organizer. You can tag all your photos with things like friends, family, places, whales, whatever tags you want to make up. Plus, you can also use the date finder. Up top, I've got a slide bar here that goes by the year, so as I drag it along
A lot of
here...
activity in mid-2004 here.
Yeah, exactly. Or I can go right to the date view here, and by month, which is kind of a cool thing, I can see exactly what day that I took all of those photos on.
And this really is handy, as anyone who knows having pictures on your computer. First, it'll find them on your computer, period. But if you haven't named it or tagged it, as Mike said, and you know roughly when you transferred it in, just slide the calendar, lo and behold, it'll pop up right in front of your eyes.
And even got a little slider view here, so it makes it super easy to find the photos.
Depending
in
on
the
how many
organizer.
you're going to search through.
And if I want to start editing, I can go up here, I can go to the quick fix or the auto fix window, and that'll automatically fix things for me. Or if I want to get a little more creative
Granular.
here, I've got Dave's face. You know,
Looks like we're going for wrinkles.
You're getting up there in the years. I've got
think
the
I'm
auto
doing
heal
well.
button here. This is kind of cool. I can actually fade out your wrinkles just automatically.
Ooh.
Look, I've just taken 20 years off of your face.
Thank you, Mike.
And it's super easy to share these as well, which is the nice thing. You go back in the organizer here. I can send them out via email. It'll actually create an HTML photo email for me, so it's not attached. It's built right into the email. Or I can send it off as a PDF. I can also send it as an email to a cell phone, send it to a Palm Pilot, or even to a TiVo or a digital video recorder. All sorts of things, and it does it automatically for you.
And if you're thinking about plastic surgery, this is a great way to check it out before you spend the thousands of dollars. Now, it is available for both the Mac and the PC. The Mac version has slightly different features, but you can check the Adobe website. Definitely, if you're looking for one program that puts everything you need to edit, organize, and distribute your pictures in one spot, check out Elements.
And okay, now get me a big, wrinkly picture of Mike. Well, none of those exist.
Big, wrinkly, real one. Oh, you're cruel.
then grab him.
Look at this here. See,
All
I
right,
can even,
come on. Okay,
I can fix his nostrils so he doesn't have any nostrils.
let's
Oh,
move on to the next segment.
you got one eye there? Oh, gone.
There you go, Mike. I've been to Mike's house. I know Mike has a lot of pictures of himself. He's got the wall of shame up.
As far as the digital photos, I don't have to retouch any of myself, but I find that most other people that I have to take pictures of, I do.
Dave Chalk Connected is brought to you by TELUS. The future is friendly.
Well, if you look at the latest technology, digital cameras are going to completely change again. There's a new technology called a Favoron chip that actually separates the light into 3 layers, which actually will get you much higher color quality per megapixel. So bottom line, all the digital cameras that are out there, kiss them all goodbye.
Am I a good singer? Well, I think everyone thinks that they're a good singer, and I would have to say the same about myself. In reality, I don't know. Give me a song.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
No, I'm not singing that. That's Dave's song. Fly me to the moon. I don't know the rest of the words. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Yeah, it's pretty good.